Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I did something pretty simple because usually for morning shifts during work, I don't even bother putting eyeliner on or contouring. I just do something really natural. And also because I'm like terrible at getting up early, so usually I just throw on some eyeshadows and some blush and a lipstick and then I'm good to go. So basically, I did the same exact eye look that I did like 2 days ago because I really wanted to use the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani stuff again. So, if you really want me to just go through the shades, I will, but basically you can just look at my eyeshadow look from 2 days ago and see that I basically did the same exact eyes. I just changed the lip color and the foundation, basically. Everything else is pretty much the same. But anyway, I'll go through everything. So I prime my face with the Smashbox Primer Water and the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer and the Smoothing Primer, and then put the Nourishing Primer on my nose. Then I went in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation in the color Y225. I really do love this foundation. I try to wear it as much as I can. I just like have such a love affair with the YSL and the Giorgio Armani that it's like really hard for me to use anything else, but this is definitely like my favorite foundation next to like those two. I've just been on a strict no buy. Like I haven't really been buying anything, and foundations are so expensive that I haven't really tried a new one. I just really want to use up my Holy Grail ones before I even try a different foundation. It's just because like I don't need to, and the only things I've picked up recently are from MAC, and I'm just waiting for those things to come in the mail, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, then I mixed that with the CoverFX Custom Cover Drops. Excuse me, and add 10 and the Becca Streaming Skin Perfector and Moonstone. Excuse me. Then I concealed and highlighted with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color Fair and the MAC Rip and Primer Radiant Rose. I just felt like using the Fit Me Concealer instead. And then, of course, I went over everything with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Natural in the shade Medium. Then I primed my eyes with the Smashbox 24-Hour Primer and then went over them with the MAC Powder. And then I went in with the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette again today. And I went in with the well, first I went in Makeup Geek Peaches and Cream as a transition shade, and then I went in with, oh my god, I can't remember the colors, Stark. Then I darkened up the crease more with Anaheim. Then I went in with Zone on the outer corners, and then I went in with Skimp and Bathwater on the lid, and then I went in with Blonde on the brow bone. These are just like basically my go-to colors that I use from that palette. I just feel like it gives me enough like definition that I don't really need anything else from the palette. And then I didn't even throw eyeliner on. I didn't really have time, so I just went in with the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara because it usually makes my lashes the longest. And then I went in with Makeup Geek Starry Eyed on the inner corners because that's basically my go-to inner corner highlight. And oh, since I've already hit pan on Starry Eyed, I just hit pan on Makeup Geek Peaches and Cream again yesterday. So this time I hit pan like a lot faster than the first time. I'm pretty sure when I actually picked it up, it was like not even 2 months ago. Maybe it was a little bit earlier than that. I think I picked it up in like a collective haul. I think it was only in like November was when I actually picked it up, and I'm already hitting pan in the center. So I might have to pick up a backup at some point. I mean, it's only a $5 eyeshadow, so thank God I don't really like use a really expensive eyeshadow as a transition shade. Like I don't use like one shade from a palette as like a transition shade for every look. I'm just trying to see like when I actually bought it. Yeah, I bought it 3 months ago. Okay, so it's been like 3 months. But what's weird is that like I haven't even been using it as much as I did the first time I purchased it because I've been using like other palettes and other shades in palettes for transition shades, and I haven't even used this one as much. I feel like this one's much dustier and it's a lot more kick up. That's probably why, but it's like super pigmented that it doesn't really make a difference. So it's still my favorite all-time favorite transition shade. So then I concealed and highlighted under my eyes with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color Fair and the MAC Rip and Primer Radiant Rose, and I set that with the Laura Mercier Secret Blending Powder. I really do love this under my eyes. It doesn't really crease like the Bare Minerals one does. I do love that, but for some reason, if I don't blend it out correctly here, which I should, but it just like creases like crazy right here, and it just looks like my skin and then like the concealer, so I have to like go back in and correct it. But with this I didn't have to do that, but it looks like it's natural looking, but um full coverage like at the same time. It's a really, really nice concealer. And then I went in also with the MAC Giga Black Lash on the bottom lashes a little bit just because it's still my favorite and I just wanted a little bit more length and separation. So I just went in with that as in addition to the L'Oreal Telescopic. Then I went in with the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani blush palette today. I went in with the colors Lo-Fi and Hush. And I didn't realize like how pigmented the shimmery blushes are because I was like, oh, let me just dip it and it'll be like, very sheer. No, it was like super pigmented. I was like, wow, I was really impressed. But at least it like kind of faded so then like it doesn't look as pigmented as before. And then I highlighted with an oldie but a goodie. I went in with the Balm's Mary Luminizer. I just really wanted to use it today and I just love it. I don't know why I ever stopped using it. It's just so beautiful. Then I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light Powder. Then I filled in my brows with the Chanel Brow Pencil and then set them with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then I primed my lips with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer, and then I lined them with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Aquarius, and then I filled them in with the MAC Cream Sheen Lipstick in the shade Pillow Talk because this is only the second time I'm wearing it, and I really wanted to wear it again today. And I love it. And sorry if this is like annoying you, it's annoying me too. I don't know, it's just like a little bit of a gap there, so I'm probably going to fix it soon, but I wasn't intending on going anywhere. I'm trying to convince my mom to go see Star Wars tonight because it's like I didn't have any plans today anyway. Like now since my boyfriend is back in school, like we're not seeing each other as much obviously. Like I saw him a crap ton last week. And then I haven't seen him since. Well, I saw him like twice last week. I didn't get to see him on Saturday because obviously the blizzard. So I saw him on Thursday. That's the last time I saw him. And then I went to the city after that. So I knew I was going to have a pretty chill weekend, that I didn't really care what I was doing this week. But then now I realize I have like 3 days with no plans. I'm working Wednesday morning, but then like that's it, like which I didn't care about either. But I'm hoping to see him tomorrow because I haven't picked up a shift for work yet because there's no shifts available right now. And if I don't see him, then I'm not doing anything. So see, it wouldn't have been so bad if I could actually get out of my house because like my mom's been driving me back and forth from work, and it was so dead today. But I would go to the gym tomorrow if I end up not doing anything and maybe pick up like a couple of backups from Ulta. But the fact that there's so much snow, it kind of sucks. The only plans I really have is going to dress fittings with my best friend because she's getting married in 6 months, and we have to go to bridesmaids fittings on Thursday, and then I'm probably going to see my boyfriend after. I'm not really sure yet. But I am trying to pick up some more shifts from work because I really just need to work, and since both of my best friends are moving away, it's going to like kind of suck. Like it's hard to get a new best friend because I already lost like 2 of them. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me stop rambling. So, bye. Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I am going out to dinner with my boyfriend. I think we're just going to go to the new Popeyes that just opened on Jericho Turnpike like a few weeks ago or something. I think it was like maybe a week or so ago because I don't really want to spend too much money. So I decided to go with more of like a neutral eye today. I mean, like I did make it a little bit more like colorful, but I wanted to go with something that was still neutral, but something that was still fun. I was going to wear my Maleficent shirt today, but then I just decided to throw on a comfy sweater, and I just love this sweater so much that I really wanted to wear it out again. But I think I'm going to alternate between like repeating outfits now because I haven't been able to wear anything twice. Just I have so much clothing, it's ridiculous, but I just really wanted to wear this again. It's like one of my favorite sweaters, so I was like, yeah, I just want to be comfortable today, so I just decided to wear this. I was going to wear my Maleficent shirt, but then I just didn't feel like doing like colorful makeup, so this is what I went with instead. So I primed my face with the Smashbox 24-hour primer and the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer and the Nourishing Primer because I just feel like my skin is dry today. Even though I haven't really been wearing too much makeup lately, like I kept my makeup off for a good like 5 or 6 hours yesterday because I only wore it until like 5 o'clock or something, and then I took it off. So, or I think like 7 o'clock or something. So, yeah, anyway, and then I went in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the color 5 and the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in N10 and the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. Then I concealed and highlighted with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the color Light Warm. I know you haven't heard that name in a while because I finally got to go pick it up today because they finally got my shade back in at Ulta. And I think that this is still my holy grail concealer. I missed it so much and it just looks so flawless. Like, looks so beautiful. Like, I fucking love it. Like, I really did miss it a lot. So, I'm really happy that I got to use it again. Then I highlighted with the MAC Peppermint Primer Radiant Rose, and then I set everything with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Natural and the shade Medium. Then I primed my eyes with the Smashbox 24-Hour Primer, and then I went in with all Makeup Geek shadows today. I did use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish over the primer to set it, and I just really wanted to use some of my go-to standard shades for Makeup Geek, so that's what I used. I went in with Beaches and Cream, of course, as my transition shade. I can't believe I've already hit pan on it. Like, I really did not even use it as much as before, but I've had it for like 3 months already, but I've already hit pan. Like, I'm like, I don't know how I did that. I feel like it's more pigmented, but it's a little bit more crumbly. It's not like crumbly. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's super buttery, but it just, I don't know how the fuck I ended up hitting pan already. So, and I still haven't hit pan on creme brulee yet. So, it's just because I don't use creme brulee on an everyday basis. I use Beaches and Cream. I probably could use creme brulee as a transition shade too, but Beaches and Cream is just such a beautiful, warm, neutral shade that I just use it all the time. So, I went in with that. I hope my eyeshadow looks okay. I keep on looking at it. I think that this looks kind of dumb right here, but whatever. Then I went in with the of course creme brulee. Then I darkened up the crease more with Cocoa Bear. Then I darkened up the outer corners with Bitten and Mocha. And then I went in with the dual comb shadow in Steampunk on the lid. This is one of the best ones that they have. Like, look at that shade. It's so pretty. I'm so happy I decided to use it today. So I used that. And then I went in with Vanilla Bean on the brow bone like usual. Then I lined my eyes with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. And then I primed my lashes with the Lancome Primer. I actually went out and bought the full size today. I was about to be like, bolt the full size. But I saw they were selling Lancome at Ulta now, so, and I really fell in love with that primer. So it's like my first full-size Lancome item in like a long-ass time. I don't even know when the last time I actually owned something from Lancome. I do really like their Hypnose Drama mascara too. I might pick that up too. But since I have the samples of Smashbox and Lancome, I decided to pick up the Maybelline. Why do I keep on doing that? Every time I say Maybelline today, I'm like Maybelline. I picked up the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara today, and I used it, and I really, really love it. It's like, makes your lashes look super, like, full and makes them look fake, which I really like. So I used that. And then I went in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer and Light Warm under my eyes and the MAC Peppermint Primer Radiant Rose. And then I set that with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Then I went in with the MAC Ascend and Play Giga Black Lash on my bottom lashes. Then I, sorry, just seeing when my boyfriend's going to be here. He'll be here really soon. Then I contoured with the NARS Laguna Bronzer and then baked it with the Paloma Powder. Then I went in with the NARS Luster Blush and then I highlighted with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed and Champagne Pop. And then I set everything with I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light Powder. Then I filled in my brows with a Chanel Brow Pencil and then set them with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then I prime my lips with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer and then line them with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Grunge and then fill them in with the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Chili Chili because I love this lip so much. It's so pretty. And yeah, that's it. So I used the NARS Stephen Klein palette for everything except for the highlight. And yeah, that's it. Bye! Okay, so hi, so just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. So I did work earlier and then I did go see Star Wars with my mom because she finally was able to see it. So yeah, my week hasn't been too eventful with friends or anything, but also because I don't really have that much money, so I haven't been trying to go out as much, but also because I really need to just give myself a little bit of chill time for me. I just feel like I never have enough time to just relax. So I primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer and the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer and the Nourish Primer on my nose. Then I went in with the Makeup Forever Step Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the color Y225, and the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in N10, and then the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Moonstone. Then I highlighted and concealed with the NYX HD Concealer in the shade Fair. I am going to holo this today that I'm talking about. I did get to try out like a couple of things recently, but I didn't really get to try out most of the MAC stuff that I got, but I did just film a MAC haul, so, and a couple of things I picked up at Ulta, so that should be up shortly. And the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose, and then of course I set that with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium. Then I primed my eyes with the Smashbox 24-hour primer and then went over it with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in Medium. And then I used the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette today. I actually didn't even have time to line my eyes this morning. Just like, I don't really care too much going to morning shifts to do liner and everything, so I just skip it. So I just went in with Cashew Chew and Almond Truffle like I usually do. Then I darkened up the crease more with Mocha. Then I went in with Bordeaux on the outer corners. And then I went in with Molasses Chip on the lid. And then I went in with Divinity on the brow bone. Then I used the the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Again, I really do love it on the top lashes, and the MAC Acidic Black Lash on the bottom lashes. Then I concealed and highlighted under my eyes with the NYX HD Concealer. It is pretty white here, so sorry about that. After I saw Star Wars, I started crying again, so I tried to correct again, and it kind of looks like a little bit white, but whatever. And the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose, and I set that with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, but I actually tried out the MAC Emphasize powder from this today as well after I reapplied the concealer, and I really like it, so I'm probably going to end up using that a lot. But yeah, it's been really hard for me to switch from anything from the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, so. Then I highlighted the inner corners with the color Satin Sheets from the Chocolate Bar palette. Then I didn't even contour today because, again, I just can't bother to contour or do liner in the morning. I'm actually wearing like 3 blushes right now because I tried out, I always mix the blushes in the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I think I used Hush and Lo-Fi today, like these 2 shades down here. And then I decided to top it off with Peaches from this palette because I did tell you about this palette. I'm so obsessed with this palette. I don't know why, like, you just look at the packaging and then you look at the colors. It is super heavy, but it's awesome. So I did use Peaches today because I wanted to try it out. I love it so far, but I just wanted to re-highlight my blush more, so I just topped it off with Peaches. So I'm wearing like 3 blushes. Then I highlighted with the Cover FX Illuminator in the shade Moonlight, but then I went over it with this highlight in the palette, which is called Trace Gold. It's not a very pigmented highlight. It's kind of more like a really subtle one. I thought there was going to be more of like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more intense gold. That's probably the only thing I don't like about this palette, is just I thought it was going to be a little bit more intense. But I guess you could also double it up as a blush too, so yeah. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light Powder, then I set everything with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, then I filled in my brows with the Chanel Brow Pencil and then set them with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel, then I primed my lips with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer, then I primed them with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer, I cannot talk, then I'm really tired, then I lined them with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil and Oh Snap, and then I filled them in with the MAC Cream Sheen lipstick in the shade Among the Fireflies, and I really wanted to use it again today. It's so pretty, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to take my makeup off now, and I need to relax. Goodbye. Okay, so hi. So I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I've been like kind of lazy with makeup lately. Like, I like how my makeup turned out today, but this is basically like the same look that I did like 2 days ago when I wore that that other sweater, like that other black and white sweater. This is like basically almost the same outfit. It's just like a different shirt and a different, I mean it's different, but it's like basically the same makeup because I've been really feeling my warm tones lately by Makeup Geek like I usually do. So I just really wanted to wear, I've been really wanting to wear a lot of my warm tones and like reddish brownish tones while the winter's still going on. I know there's still like 2 months left, but it's just like, I really love winter fashion. I love my summer fashion too, but I just feel like I have so much winter clothes and it's just like harder to get out in the winter because it's always snowing. But actually it's really hasn't been too much of a snowy winter lately. I mean, we did have that blizzard last Saturday, but I feel like I've been utilizing a lot more, but also I didn't really go out that much this week. Like, I only saw my boyfriend on Tuesday, and now I'm seeing him today. Yesterday, I didn't do anything. I went to the movies with my mom. And then tomorrow, I'm not really doing anything because I'm not sure if I'm going out with one of my friends. So it's just like hard to be able to utilize all of your makeup sometimes. So I try my best, but this is what I came up with. So I'm just going to pop some gum in my mouth. So I prime my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer and the Nourishing Primer on my nose. And then I went in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the color 5. I can't talk with gum in my mouth. And the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in N10, and mixed that with the Becca Sherman Skin Perfector in Moonstone. I am so sad about that because I dropped the bottle of it, of the Becca Sherman Skin Perfector, so it already was cracked. I dropped it again today, and like it splattered all over the floor. So now I have like this much left in there, but the bottle is like cracked. So there's basically like no point of returning it because I'm just going to use up what's in there, and then I'm just going to have to replace it. And it sucks because it's not very cheap. It's like $38. But I'm either going to just use it up and then use my Kevyn Aucoin, because I still have that, but I love that Becca Sherman Skin Perfector Illuminator. It's really nice. But I've been using it like every day because it makes my skin like so glowy. But I might have to give it up eventually and just use the Kevyn Aucoin. So then I highlighted with the Urban Decay, concealed and highlighted with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the color Light Warm. And the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose. And then I set everything with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium. Then I primed my eyes with the MAC 24-Hour Eyeshadow Base. And then I went over it with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Medium. And then I went in with all Makeup Geek shadows today. Like I said, all except the lid shade is a ColourPop shadow. So I went in with Beaches and Cream and then darkened it up with Creme Brulee. Then I went in with Cocoa Bear and Bitten on the crease a little bit more to darken it up more. And then I went in with a shade that I haven't worn yet from ColourPop. This is Kathleen Light's shade from her new collab with ColourPop, Where the Night Is, in the shade Porter. It's really, really pretty, but it kind of just like got really matte by the time I was done. But whatever, I like how it looks on the lid and it'll stay intact, so that's why I love ColourPop. And then I went in with Vanilla Bean on the brow bone. Then I lined my eyes with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner and Trooper. Then I primed my lashes with the Lancome Steals Booster XL Primer and then went over them with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Then I concealed and highlighted under my eyes with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Warm and the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose. And then I set that with the MAC Emphasized Powder. I do really like it. I do see that it makes like a really nice subtle brightening effect, but I think I still prefer my Laura Mercier. I'm going to test this out a little bit more because the Laura Mercier is so noticeable, the coverage, but at the same time not. Like, you can notice it like really brightening under your eyes and then it looks really pretty afterwards. Like, I didn't feel like this set much, but I do think it looks really good. Maybe it's just like a lasting effect, or maybe it just looks better throughout the day, but we'll see. Then I went in with the MAC Giga Black Lash on the bottom lashes, and then I highlighted the inner corners with Makeup Geek's Filled Shadow in the shade in the Spotlight. Then I contoured with that MAC blush palette. I actually didn't contour today, but then I decided to add one like after I was done because my boyfriend wasn't here yet, and he's still not here yet, obviously, but he's not here yet, so I was deciding to contour at the last minute after I finished everything. So I used the shade Sculpt, which is the one you're supposed to use to contour. I really do like this shade a lot. Like, it's a really nice contour that it created, so I really like that. And then I baked it with the MAC Emphasized Powder. I really like how it looks because it really brightened and cleaned up the contour really nicely. I find that that's a really good trick that you can use like a matte white powder to, I mean, usually people use Laura Mercier, but I really like the effect of like brightening it in under there. So I used the MAC Emphasize or the Too Faced Light Cocoa shade, or like the NARS Paloma powder, or the Marc Jacobs white powder. Like, I really like those other shades to highlight there. Like, that's what I use it for. I don't use them under my eyes, but I'm going to use them soon. Then I mixed two blushes together from that MAC palette. I used Peaches and Trace Gold. I actually found out that the Trace Gold is actually a blush, not a highlight, so I'm sorry for saying that in my haul. But it's a blush, not a highlight, even though I tried it out as a blush as a highlight yesterday. It was pretty. It was just very subtle, but it's a blush. So I mixed those two together just so Peaches wasn't so orangey, but it really isn't. Like, it's a really pretty shade. It's very buildable. And then I highlighted, of course, with Becca Shimmy Skin Perfector Pressed and Champagne Pop. Then I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light Powder. Then I set everything with Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Then I filled in my brows with the Chanel Brow Pencil and then set them with Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then I primed my lips with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer. Then I lined them with the Urban Decay Glide on Slide on 24-Hour Pencil in Liar. And then I filled them in with Kat Von D's Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Lolita. I was going to use like a different liquid lipstick today, but I haven't worn this since Thanksgiving, so I was like, you know, I kind of want to wear it today. I haven't worn it in like 2 months, so I really love this color, and it's such a classic shade. It's just a beautiful shade. Like, it always looks good with like especially with a look like this. I just thought it was perfect. I was going to wear Lime Crime Salem, but I just didn't feel like going that dark, so I love this color, and that's it. Bye. Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I almost forgot to do this because I was like wiping off my makeup and I was like, "Ferk." So, I just started like wiping off this side, but at least I could salvage it with concealer, blush, and highlight. So yeah, I primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer and the, Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer and the Nourishing Primer. Then I went in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the color Y225 and the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in N10 and the Becca Shimmy Skin, the Kevin Aquan Celestial Liquid Lightning. I decided to use that today just because my Becca Moonstone is pretty pathetic right now because I dropped it on the floor and it's like cracked, and I dropped it again, and then I like liquid illuminator went everywhere. I'm just so sad about that. I just like today was not a good day. For me anyway. Like, I mean, it was good, like, because I went out, but I had too many struggles at home. It was just like, I mean, it's first world, but at the same time, like, it was friggin' annoying. But yeah, I mixed those all together. Then I went in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the color Light Warm and the MAC Ribbon Primer Radiant Rose. And then I set everything with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium. Then I primed my eyes with the Smashbox 24-Hour Primer. And then I went over that with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium. And I know the corners are kind of wearing off, but I didn't feel like reapplying again. This is so drying right now that I just want to rip it off. So that's why I was like so fast to like take my makeup off, but then I forgot to do this. I knew I was going to forget, but yeah. The sides kind of wear off, but whatever. We're just going to go with it. It looked good for the whole video I filmed because I filmed my January favorites. But yeah, now it just doesn't look good, but whatever. So I went in with all Makeup Geek shadows today. This is basically my go-to fall look that I filmed a tutorial on like a couple months ago. I wanted to wear it again today. I actually haven't really worn it since then, but I've been so obsessed with these shades this week. This is the third time I went in with these Makeup Geek shadows. I went in with Beaches and Cream, then Creme Brulee, then Cocoa Bear, then Bitten, then Mocha, then the Foiled Shadow in Showtime, and then the Brow Bone Vanilla Bean. I've just been using them constantly. I love them. And then I just lined my eyes with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner and Trooper. Then I went in with the Lancome Primer and then went over that with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Then I concealed and highlighted under my eyes with Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer and Light Warm and the MAC Ribbon Primer Radiant Rose. And then I set that with the MAC Emphasized Powder. Then I went in with the MAC Ascendant Play Giga Black Lash, and then I highlighted the inner corners. Originally with I'm Peachless and My Tie, but then I just didn't like how it looked, so I just went in quickly with In the Spotlight because I've been using that for my go-to. But I just want to say, when I was putting this on Showtime, it had like massive fallout that I just had to reconceal again. And then I had to reconceal again because then my mascara smudged. I was so mad. I was like, oh my god. It like got all over right here. So I really need to start doing my foundation first rather than my I have to start doing my eyeshadow first rather than my foundation because then I'm just going to have to pile on concealer, and then it just looks so cakey, but that was the only way I could save it. I'm like, I might as well just pile it on. And then my ColourPop gel liner wasn't going on properly. It kept on like skipping, so I had to take it off, and then like I got all the gunk in my eyes. It just wasn't a good time for my eyeshadow today. Like right after I got massive fallout with the Showtime color, I just knew everything else was gonna go wrong, and it did. I was like, why can't just one thing go wrong? Like, I just have been having really good makeup days lately, like getting ready wise, and then today, like every possible thing could go wrong. I just hate those kind of days where it's just like, no. And I didn't even put on a full face until like 5:30 because I went to the gym earlier today with my boyfriend, and then I had my, sorry, my nose is running a little bit, and then I had my makeup off for like an hour, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get ready, everything's gonna be fine. It took me an hour and a half to get ready because I kept on messing up. I was so mad. But anyway, let's move on. Then I contoured with the MAC Sculpt powder, and then I used Becca's Mineral Blush in Wild Honey just because I really wanted to use a classic favorite today. And then I used a classic favorite highlight. I've been using this so much this week, which is Champagne Pop from Becca. Just love it. And then I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light powder. Then I set everything with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Then I filled in my brows with the Chanel Brow Pencil, and then set them with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then I primed my lips with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer. Then I lined them with the with the Urban Decay Glide On Slide On 24-Hour Pencil in the shade Liar. That's probably the one favorite I forgot to mention, but I've been using it all week this week. And then I just went in with ColourPop's Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Tool. This is like the second time I've worn it in like 2 weeks. It did not do this the last time I wore it. For some reason it was like really dry today, but I just didn't care about reapplying it again because when I was reapplying it like an hour ago, it was like flaking off a little bit but usually it does not do that, but for some reason it was like dry today. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye! Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you really quick about my makeup look for today. I just did something really simple for work. If my brows look bad, I really don't care because I'm just going over my boyfriend's house. So I primed my face with the Smashbox Primer Water and the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer. Then I went in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the color 5 and the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in N10 and the Becca Shimmy Skin Perfector in Moonstone. Then I concealed and highlighted with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the color Light Warm and the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose. Then I set everything with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Medium in the shade Natural in the shade Medium. And then I primed my eyes with the Smashbox 24-Hour Powder Primer. And then I actually went over it with the MAC Emphasized Powder instead of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish just because I like how it's more like a matte white color. Then I went in with Beaches and Cream by Makeup Geek as my transition shade, and then I went in with the Too Faced Vegas Nail Palette today. I really wanted to use it today. So I went in, sorry, I don't know why my lashes are like, I just put on a fresh coat, but whatever. I went in with the color, what was it? Oh my god, what is that color called? Millennial on the crease, and I darkened up the crease more with Girls Night. Then I went in with holy crap, I'm forgetting the colors. I know I went in with Selfie and Showgirl on the lid, and then the outer corners I went in with that like darker brown shade in the palette. Oh my god, what is the name? Hold on, let me just look at TooFaced.com really quickly, sorry. I really can't remember what the color's name is. Holy crap, let's see. Okay, I guess they don't even have the palette up here anymore, but it's like the darker glittery brown shade in the palette. And then I went in with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara on the top lashes, and then I went in with the color Chandelier on the brow bone. Then I concealed and highlighted under my eyes with Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Warm and the MAC Prep and Prime Radiant Rose. Then I set that with the MAC Emphasized Powder. Then I went in with the MAC Extended Play Cake Black Lash on the bottom lashes, and then I highlighted the inner corners with Starry Eyed by Makeup Geek. Then I went in with MAC's Powder Blush in Spellbinder. I really wanted to use it today. It's so pretty. And then I highlighted with Too Faced Candlelight Powder in the color Rosy Glow. I just used the Goldie shade, and then I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light powder. Then I set everything with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Then I filled in my brows with the Chanel Brow Pencil and then set them with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. Then I primed my lips with the Bite Beauty Lip Primer, and then I lined them with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Aquarius, and then I filled them in with the Too Faced Melted Lipstick in the shade Melted Chocolate Lipstick in the shade Melted Milkshake. I did actually go in with a little bit of Melted Honey as well, but now it's mostly Melted Milkshake. And that's it. Bye! Okay, so hi, so I just wanted to tell you about my makeup look for today. I decided to do this a little bit before work. I did go out with Josh before I went to work, but I was going to change into my work clothes and I wanted to keep this on to show you my makeup look. Oh my god, this shirt is like so tight here, but it looked dumb with it being open. So anyway, I primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer and the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer and the Nourishing Primer on my nose. Then I went in just with my go-to foundation recently, my Giorgio Armani Lumiere foundation in the color 5. Again, I've just been like super lazy with makeup, with like some aspects of makeup, and then it's just like, I just use one palette of everything now, and then just like a Makeup Geek shadow on my inner corners, but like, I just want to use what looks good, so like, I don't want to like dwell on using other foundations or something like that. So I just use the Giorgio Armani, and it's also when I'm like in a hurry to be ready that it's just my go-to. So I use that. And then the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in N10 and the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Liquid Lightning. Then I highlighted and concealed with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Warm. Again, I was going to use the NYX concealer, but then I just decided to use the Urban Decay because it was just sitting on top, and I'm like, whatever, it's still my favorite, so I'm just going to use that. Then I set everything with the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Medium Natural. And I used the MAC Rep and Primer Medium Rose. I don't know if I said that. I mixed that with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. Like I always do. It's all the same steps. Then I primed my eyes with the Smashbox 24-Hour Primer. Again, was just sitting on top. Was being lazy and just used the same products that I know work good. I love the MAC and the NARS, and I love the NYX HD concealer and my other concealers, but I've just been using a concealer that I haven't used in a long time because I didn't have it, so now I just really want to use it a lot. So anyway, then I went in with the MAC Emphasized Powder to brighten a little bit over the primer, and then I went in with Makeup Geek's Beaches and Cream as my transition shade like always, and then I used the Morphe 35O palette today. Even though I know that Stephanie Nicole is going to make a video on this, I still really enjoy this palette. And this is the only palette I ever intended on picking up from Morphe. I want to know like what she thinks about the company still though, but I do think that this is a pretty good palette. I think that the colors are really nice and blendable. The shadows are pigmented. I like the mattes. I think the mattes blend really nicely, and I don't really have a problem with any of the colors. I've used the majority of the colors in this palette, even though it's a huge palette. I've had it since October and I've used basically almost all of the colors. And I have to say most of them are pretty good. So I went in with more of these shades over here today. I went in with this color on my crease to just give it a little bit of an orangey color. This is a really unique color because it's like an orangey brown, but it's like a light orange. It's not like so orange it's just going to look like a bright orange in your crease. It's like a more subdued version, so I really like that. So I used that. Then I darkened up the crease more with more of this like a little bit more burnt orange color. Really pretty. It still has enough orange in it, but it's like a burnt orange color. It's really pretty. Then I went in with this color on my outer corners. I was going to use this one. I just thought this one was a little bit too light, so I went in with this color instead. And then for the lid color, I went in with this color right here. I wanted to use this one, but then I was like, oh, maybe I should use this one. So I decided to use this one instead. They're both beautiful. These are probably my favorite colors in the palette, especially this one. This one's really beautiful. And then for the, is that all I used for the crease and everything? Yeah. And then for the brow bone, I just used this matte color up here. These are basically the only two like brow bone highlights in the palette. But I think that's all that I used from the palette. Yeah, that's it. Then I lined my eyes with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner and Trooper. Then I went over my lashes with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. It's been my favorite lately. I really do love it. Then I concealed and highlighted under my eyes with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in Light Warm and the MAC Prep and Primer Radiant Rose, and I set that with the MAC Emphasized Powder. Then I highlighted the inner corners with Makeup Geeks in the Spotlight. It's just been like my go-to when I do more of these like warm looks or more like orangey tone looks, but it's so pretty, right? I really like it. Then I went in with the MAC instead of playing a black lash. Sorry, on the bottom lashes. Then I contoured with the MAC sculpting powder, MAC Sculpt powder from the MAC palette. Hopefully it looks okay. I kind of went over it with after I did my blush and highlight just because I thought that I wasn't going to have enough time to contour, and then I kind of did, so I decided to do it anyway. And I think it looks okay, but I don't know, we'll see. And I have a little bit of like a harsh line here, but I don't know, I just don't really care, honestly. I'm just going to work. Then I went in with the MAC powder blush in the shade Peaches from the same palette. Then I highlighted with the Becca Shimmy Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. I've just been loving it lately, and I just love it with these kind of orangey looks. So that's what I've been using. Then I went over everything with the Hourglass Luminous Light Powder. Then I filled in my brows with a Chanel Brow Pencil and then set them with the Anastasia Claire Brow Gel. Then I set everything with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Then I primed my lips with the Urban Decay Glide on Slide on 24-Hour Pencil and Ozone because I can't seem to find my Bite Beauty Lip Primer right now. It's probably in my apron. I just haven't felt like bringing it out. Then I lined my lips with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Aquarius, and then I filled them in with the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Lolita 2. This is finally like the second, this is only the second time I'm wearing this. I am just so overwhelmed with lip products, but I did wear the chocolate milkshake yesterday, and today I wore this. So these are definitely shades I've been trying to wear for a while that I'm finally just wearing again, but I just have so many lipsticks that it's so hard for me to just really like utilize what's in my collection sometimes. It's just like I only work 3 days out of the week, so it's hard for me to utilize my I only work 3 days in a row sometimes, like Saturday to Monday, because that's what usually has been happening. I mean, today's Sunday, so I'm working at 4. It's now almost 3:25. I just have to eat something really quick and just change into my work clothes, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So bye!